Hello, everyone. Welcome. Let's see if you can hear me okay. We should be good. Make sure everyone can hear me. If you don't mind just giving me a little bit of a hello in the group, then or in the comments, then I'll know you can hear me okay. So, yeah, welcome. Oh yeah, I got a thumbs up. Good job. Thank you, whoever that was. I appreciate it. I think things are a little bit delayed, um, just because I'm. Yes, good, perfect. Yeah, just a little bit of delay, but that's okay. Good morning, Catherine. Actually, it's good evening for Catherine. Megan, hello, my dear. So glad you're here. Of course, I am Julia Kelleher, Nikon ambassador, and I guess you could say, the ringleader of this group. And excited to work with you guys today on finding labs. Today is all going to be about researching lab partners. It's a really important thing to do when you're developing a product line, and it can be a little intimidating and scary at times as well. Hello, Allison. Hello, Jennifer. Let me know where you guys are from. I'd love to hear. Jessica, she says, hey there, I got my workbook printed. Nice. And I ordered it in black and white to save printing, but they printed it on color on accident, and it's perfect. Don't you love it when that happens? It's like, I'm such a paper slut. I love paper. Good morning, Jamie. Hello, my dear. Good to see you. Some of my 5CC members are in here. It's fun to see you all. Yeah, it looks like Catherine said there's about a 10-second delay, and I think that's accurate. Um, but that's a good thing sometimes for folks who are going live, because you know how it is. Sometimes you want to, cut things before they hit the air. Amity is from Missoula. How is it up there? Are you guys getting snow yet? Linda, of course, is from Tromso. I'm not sure how I pronounce that. Norway, but amazing that you're from Norway. It must be late for you too, my dear there. Of course, Los Angeles, Jennifer. Welcome. We're going to get started right away and talk today all about finding a lab, a partner for you in your business. So let's go ahead and share screen here. And I will play my keynote so y'all can see what's going on. I'm going to make sure I have my graphics in the right spot so I can see what I'm doing. You know how it is. All right, and I love seeing your. Jessica said she loves seeing the new products today. I'm so glad. I will show them again here. We got a couple of albums from GRAPHI, and it's really nice, and it's fun to see the different things as they come in and try samples out. And of course, I get to talk to you guys about it and help you kind of see my thought process in terms of developing that hierarchy in your studio. So Clearwater, Florida, we've got snow for Halloween. Amity has. Hello, Jen Medford, another Missoula. Awesome. Okay, so yes, this is day 2, Perfect Your Product Line. Welcome. I want you to download the workbook if you haven't done that already. So definitely get inside your emails. If you've just signed up, that download will be inside that email, the first one you get. If not, I know Chelsea's probably on live with us now. She can download the link and let you guys get it here in the Facebook group if you don't have it. But the workbook is absolutely great. It's going to prevent you from having to scribble furiously when during these lives. And like I said, you can find it in your challenge emails when you signed up. So we have another GRAPHI Studio gift card today. $100 today. We will do a drawing for that at the very end of today's broadcast. Now, on Friday, they're going to be giving us a free Go book. So for those of you who saw the live broadcast earlier today, just me showing the products, that beautiful Go book with the little boy on it that was just kind of like in the chair looking sad, that is the Go book, and it is for a complimentary Go book on Friday. So to be eligible, I want you to sign up for the webinar. I will, as a matter of fact, I'm going to get to that now so you can see. The webinar is, let me go to it really quick. Let's see, it's probably in here. Let me go back to my doohickey here. I might have to log back in. No, there we go. Perfect. So the 5CC launch for the webinar, I'm going to go ahead and copy this link and put it in the comments if I can here. Regroup. And yeah, so you guys should be able to sign up for the webinar. And what happens is when you sign up for the webinar, you get tagged. Hang on one second. You get tagged in my system, and I will post it. That's day 1. And this is day 2. Excellent. So I will post it inside the comments here. If you register for the webinar, you will get tagged. So that link there. And at the end of the broadcast, I will round everybody up and do a random number generator, and we'll see who wins the $100 gift card. So that's the link there. I'll post it again. Sign up for the webinars coming up. And yeah, that's literally all you have to do. But the webinar is amazing. We are going to discuss the changing market, basically. And I think I think it's a really important thing to look at the changing market with the pandemic and COVID and the way the economy has shifted. Of course, today is election day, so God knows what's going to happen then. Change no matter what, right? No matter what the outcome or results. And so there's going to be a lot of shifts happening in 2021. And we as businesses need to shift with that. And so that's what the webinar is all about. What you can do to identify things in your market that are changing and keep up with the times and go with them. All right. Jamie asks, what happens if we signed up yesterday? If you signed up yesterday, you're already in the running. You don't have to worry at all. You do not need to sign up twice. So just if you haven't signed up, go ahead and do it. If you have, I will be, the pot gets bigger every time more and more people signed up. So your chances of winning were actually best yesterday and today because there's fewer people, but we'll see. Anyway, okay, so yesterday we talked about identifying ourselves. Today we're going to talk about researching labs, finding the good ones that align with our brands. And then, of course, tomorrow we'll be discussing, detailing your products, brainstorming those products, and building a hierarchy of product in your studio that provides that incentive to clients. And then on Friday, we're going to talk about designing and shooting our products. So today, what makes a good lab? Several things. Oh, it looks like Chelsea's on. Thank you. She's acting as 5 Carat Collective. So yes, same as yesterday. If you signed up yesterday, you are good to go. All right. So what makes a good lab? Several things. First and foremost, obviously you want print quality, right? Customer service, how well they interact with you, their product line, what are they carrying, and is it in line with your brand? Delivery times, how fast are they or not? And some people want things to be super fast, and others are, it's okay if it takes a week or two. So you have to, that's something that's kind of riding on your shoulders as a business owner. Communication, do they communicate with you when things go wrong? I have had good labs out there will see errors in things like albums and stuff, and they will call you and say, hey, we see this error. Is this legit? And then you go, oh my gosh, thank you for telling me. That's an amazing communication in a lab. Now, do they always see everything? No, of course not. They can't be responsible for that. But the labs that actually reach out and do that kind of thing are amazing. And sometimes it's just a matter of getting referrals from other photographers and trying things out for yourself and seeing how it goes. I've gone through a lot of vendors and suppliers in my 15-year or almost 15-year career, and there's now certain things that I look for, and these are them. Ease of use, ordering. How easy is their ordering system to use and operate? Is it convoluted? Is it challenging? Do you have to call in? I mean, those are all things that don't save time, that our time sucks. Their reputation, longevity, like how long have they been in business? I cannot tell you the number of new up and coming frame companies that I've taken a risk on for them to be out of business within a year. And that just, it stinks. And it's so hard to keep a consistent product line in your business when, vendors are going in and out of business. So I look for reputation, longevity, how long have they been in the business? What's their customer base like? And their uniqueness. How unique are their products? Now, of course, there's going to be your full service labs, the ones that do everything, the ones that, kind of choose to service lots of different niches, lots of different clients. And that's okay too, though you need that. But sometimes you're going to want to go for that obscure lab that carries a really unique product that you want to do something special with. Okay. So the first step is to talk about pro versus prosumer and consumer labs. You don't want to go with a lab that caters to your clients, right? You want to go with a lab that isn't that doesn't sell to, your next door neighbor. At least that's my opinion. So be very careful here. Don't go somewhere your client can go. I always work with labs that require my EIN number or a website, almost like you have to apply for an account. Those are the ones I want to go to because to me, I know that they're servicing pros only and that the products I get from them are going to be unique to my area and unique to the market, and my clients can't create it themselves. So I definitely highly recommend researching consumer labs and get on their email lists. Like, labs like Shutterfly, Minted. Minted is a card producer, but Tiny Prints, things like that, Artifact Uprising. These folks, they're good labs, but they service both you as a professional and the consumer. But I want to get on their email list because I want to know what's coming out and I want to keep my finger on the pulse of what's happening in the consumer world. Why? Because I want to run the other direction. I don't want to get what my clients are getting from places like Shutterfly. I want to do things that are different and that stand out. So I don't offer the products that those labs are offering. So think about how you can take one of their products and make it radically different, okay? With graphic design, with certain colors, with certain fonts, with certain, like, putting babies' footprints in an album was a huge thing for my business because clients don't know how to do that. They don't have the Photoshop skills to be able to do that themselves. So by creating a product like that, or perhaps like a shadow box that you put in baby's bracelet and the little hat they came home in and the ultrasound picture and the birth announcement and the portrait of that you photographed. I mean, you can create some pretty unique products simply by thinking through what your clients want to treasure and then creating a product around that that's radically different from what they can do themselves. Consider the quality. A consumer lab is often slightly subpar to a pro lab. And a lot of this just comes from experience and learning to print on my own. Um, as I discovered printing and color and paper, that's when I really became a paper snob. But there is a huge difference between what consumer labs produce for clients or for anybody versus what a pro lab does for us. The quality is just so much better. Cheaper isn't ever better when it comes to labs. And I know there's a lot of canvas places out there that produce a pretty decent product for pretty inexpensive, and they're reputable. I mean, it's fine, but just be careful. Even the pro level labs, if they're producing canvas on the cheap and offering it inexpensive, there's going to be some issues there in the future. And if you compare things side by side, you're going to see a marked difference. Okay? So there's also what's to consider is large labs versus boutique labs. You'll probably want to use at least one lab that produces all types of products. We're talking about the big powerhouses, White House Custom Color, Miller's, things like that. But then consider boutique labs that carry specialized products like museum papers, unique albums, specialty wall finishes. I am moving a lot of my stuff over to GRAPHI Studio, and I've been kind of toying and marinating on this idea for a long time, over a year. And I've been talking, in full disclosure, I've been talking with Maureen at GRAPHI Studio and chatting with her constantly about albums and the customer service combined with the uniqueness of the products made me go towards GRAPHI in terms of both wall art and albums. Now, there's some products I'm keeping with different labs just because of price point and that ability to build that hierarchy in my products, which is so important. But GRAPHI's like kind of like a boutique and a powerhouse. It's an interesting thing. They service, all kinds of customers and produce lots of different types of art, but it's all incredibly unique the way a boutique lab would be. So consider that boutique labs carry specialized products, and that will help you make your products stand out and be something that the consumer can't do. Really important. The other thing is I made this mistake in the beginning of my career and I regretted it. Don't partner with too many vendors. You will make yourself physically insane because it is so overwhelming to keep track of products, stay on top of client orders if you have too many vendors. If you are just starting out, 1 to 2 at the most. If you're just going from like a digital model into a product tangible based model, just pick 1 or 2 labs, maybe one powerhouse lab that you know will produce the things you need, and then go with maybe one boutique lab that does something different. I at one point was with Whitehouse and Miller's and try experimenting with all the stuff. And then it just got to be too overwhelming, and combine that with the fact that I was carrying too many products, and my clients just like deer in the headlights. I don't know what to do. And I'm sitting here going, I don't know what to do. And it was a mess. So just less is more. It truly is. I also want you to consider self-assembling products to create even more unique looks and lower costs, okay? I have taken to doing just simple matted and frame prints on my own. And the reason for that is my costs are so much lower. I can literally print matte glass and frame with Larson Jewel frames and 11 by 14 for $20 to $22. And I charge $325 for it. So my cost of goods are like 8% on a framed finished piece. So, and that's because I'm self-fulfilling. I do my own printing. We assemble the glass and the frames together. I buy the frames in bulk, and I've managed to reduce those costs significantly while still producing a product that's extremely high end and has a high perceived value. So my favorite partners, just to give you, kind of who I work with: GRAPHI Studio, Miller's Lab, Larson Jewel Framing, Matte Board Plus for my mats, and then Self Fulfillment. I have an Epson 9900, which I invested in. Gosh, I had an Epson 9800 before that. So it's been probably 9 years, 10 years that I've been self fulfilling, and I absolutely love it. Being able to print on my own and control color. Now, I don't do things like canvas because I have to have a spray booth to do canvas, a dustless room in order to be able to do that, to make it archival. So I farm that out to GRAPHI Studio with their Canvas Pro line. So there's some products that I do still fulfill through the labs, but the ones I can do on my own, I do. So now here's a list of kind of some of the major full service labs across the US. Now, I know there's a lot of folks who are out of the country, and so I'm not familiar with some of those folks, but GRAPHI Studio does service all over the world. They ship everywhere, which is amazing. And I think that's another thing that kind of makes them unique. So White House Custom Color, Pro DPI, H&H Lab, Mid-South Color Lab, Bay Photo, Simply Color Lab, Black River Imaging. These are all big full-service labs here in the U.S. that can help you out, and I would like you to consider they definitely service and cater the pro. Now, the smaller boutique labs to consider, obviously GRAPHI is in that realm. I still consider them a small lab, because what I mean by a small lab is like they produce boutique products, if that makes sense. Really different kind of boutique products that are not run-of-the-mill. So Musea, Queensberry, Guild Canvas, Artsy Couture, Fineo, Lush Albums, Asuka Book, Vision Art Albums. Jonathan Penny does beautiful wall art. Besotted is another lovely lab that I've recently been introduced to. It's from Classic Kids. So if you have a Classic Kids in your area, you can't sign up with them because it's a competition thing. But I don't have one in my area, so I've just signed up, and I'm loving what they're doing. So I'm going to order some samples from them just because I feel like they have some unique things as well. So just look at these different labs, research them, and that's where the next step comes in. You need to evaluate if a lab aligns with your brand, okay? The what you need to ask yourself is, does it carry products that match my brand and market? We did our brand boards yesterday, as well as researching the regional styles that are pretty popular in our area. So ask yourself if the products they carry can be infused into your market with the look and style and feel of not only your brand, but also what's happening regionally. Are its costs in line with your retail price points? I was on live earlier today showing the album, and one of my former Market Like You Mean It students, Patty, said, she goes, "Gosh, you sound like really reasonable, almost cheap." And I'm like, well, I am the most expensive in my market. I'm definitely the highest overall in terms of luxury. I soar ahead of everyone in terms of price point and average sale. And so that price point is kind of where I need to be. I'm not going to charge, $5,000 for an album. It's just not going to fly here. But in Miami, Florida, that might be different. In Los Angeles, you betcha. Bigger markets, more high-end markets like Aspen, Colorado, places like that. Yeah, you can charge a lot for things because there is a large luxury market there. Okay. Ask yourself if the lab's delivery time is suitable to your business. Now, like Miller's delivers in 24 to 48 hours, GRAPHI Studio, it's more like a week to 2 weeks. So, but I don't mind that. It's coming from Italy, it's all high end, it's very unique. So, because the products are so unique, a delivery time of 1 to 2 weeks is like nothing for me. Like, it doesn't even bother me at all. So, again, you have to ask yourself if that aligns with your brand. Are its products consistent and readily available? Another big question to ask. Is it easy to order products with their system? Some systems are more complicated than others. Ask yourself if it's easy for you and if the product is worth working with a website that's maybe not as user friendly. And are they easy to get a hold of for help? That's another big thing. I have dropped labs like a stone when I have received poor customer service. If your color's bad and your customer service is bad, your print quality, and you won't replace mistakes, I'm going to drop you. And that's where you need to really study. And sometimes this just comes from experience. But again, get referrals from other photographers in your area and get referrals from photographers who've been there and done that a lot and know. So, for example, as someone said, they love Artsy Couture and they have beautiful products. They do. And I love the way their canvases have that real hard edge. But I discovered their print quality wasn't what I wanted. I kept getting color back that wasn't correct. And I'm a color snob because I know how to print on my own and I'm a print competitor and I'm a judge for competition. I have an eye that's really solidly trained for seeing color. So when I get a print back that's not the greatest color, and that happens a lot, I'm going to move on. Now, granted, that was years ago, so I have no idea what Artsy Couture has done in terms of moving forward. I'm sure they have. And they do have an incredible product. It's just not right for me and my brand. So like I said, this is going to be different for everyone. And I am recommending to you labs that are high quality. So is Artsy. I didn't put Artsy down. I should have. They're a great company, but maybe not right for me. And this is where you need to evaluate. So speaking of color, you need to take 3 to 5 images, the same 3 to 5 images on a color calibrated screen. Make sure your screen is calibrated and pick images that are in a different key. So pick a high key image, pick a low key image, pick a mid key image, pick different. If you're a portrait photographer, do skin tones. So darker skin tone, lighter skin tone, and pick those same 3 to 5 images and make sure they're edited to your specifications on your screen. Okay. And then submit them as test prints to different labs that you want to work with. Doing this research will be incredibly beneficial to you in the long term, and it will save you a lot of money and a lot of headache. You will learn who has good print quality and who does not for your brand simply by doing that test. And oftentimes, most labs will provide free test prints for you. So definitely do that before you start picking a lab. So if beginner versus advanced, we have people here who are just moving from like either a digital model into a print-based model. And then we have folks who've been tangible product for years and they're just tweaking things, or they're needing new ideas, or they're trying to get creative with new products. So if you're a beginner, the left side, keep it simple. Keep your product line in your labs to just a few things. A good start is 2 wall finishes, 2 to 3 albums, 1 to 2 lab partners. Just keep it at that. Like I said, pick 1 to 2 print partners or only. You can always add more later. Less is more, so you don't get overwhelmed, okay? So start with just 1 lab. If you're if this overwhelms you and you're like, oh my God, I just don't even know what I'm going to pick or what I'm going to do, just pick 1 lab, a full service, large lab that can help you, and just start doing a simple product line. 2 finishes, 2 to 3 albums, leave it at that. Don't get all fancy with the cards and the jewelry and the image boxes you go to these trade shows and it is seriously like walking into a drug dealer's lair, because they just want to tempt you with all these beautiful paper products and these beautiful albums, and everything's printed gorgeously, and it's just like drool. In 5cc, I did at WPPI this year before COVID hit, I did a in-person free product workshop at WPPI for all of our 5cc members who were there. So if you came to WPPI, we walked through the trade show as 5cc members, and we talked about different products, what to pick, looking at quality, looking at spines on albums, paper quality, how things fingerprint or not, stuff like that. And it was such a valuable exercise, but I could totally see like that glazed over look in my students going, this is so overwhelming. And that's because these labs are businesses too. They want to make money off of you. So they're going to tempt you with as much as they can. They show what they want to sell, right? They show what they want to sell, and they want to tempt you with all of these ideas. You do not need to carry everything that lab offers. As a matter of fact, you as a business should only carry a fraction of what they offer. Okay, so keep that in mind. A fraction, a teeny tiny fraction of what they offer is what you should be carrying. So if you're advanced, evaluate what's selling now and what's not. Remove old and stale products and replace them, or just cut them completely. I have a few wall finishes, like, it's so hard because then you sell it and you're like, oh, I should probably like keep it. I never sell metal prints. I love them. They're beautiful. They're very modern. I have one client who buys them all the time. She just bought one like 2 weeks ago. But I'm very seriously considering removing it from my product line. Now, does that mean I'll never sell it again? No, it just means it's not in my product line. Okay. Then if you're advanced, ask yourself about specialization. Consider adding, that should say adding, not asking, a high specialty product line. Okay. So perhaps like doing, for me, I would do like a black and white child portrait line with a special product that goes just with that line. Maybe you want to do high key silhouettes of kids' profiles. And then the product is a white frame shadow box with that black silhouette in there. And that's something that kids do at 5 years old in your studio. Okay. You can develop a high end specialized product line that gets your past client base really excited about what's new and what you're offering that's different. So this will kind of help you to determine, okay, am I a beginner? Am I advanced? How do I do this? And your workbook exercises this week are to research different labs. Take the list, get referrals from people in the group here, because there's a lot of people in here who know what they're doing and have been doing this for a while and have great ideas for different labs to examine. We should start a thread in the Facebook group just posting labs. If it's already listed, don't post it. And then that way people can go to the list and go, okay, I'm going to research White House Custom Color Day. I'm going to research GRAPHI Studio. I'm going to research Artsy Couture. And this homework is really great because it'll help you kind of see the differences on paper between your labs. Okay, so you're going to write the pros and cons down between each lab. Is it a quick turnaround or is shipping expensive kind of thing? Then on the second sheet, I want you to kind of check off, does this print partner meld with my brand? So check, if it's yes, good, check the left, and then put down the wall finishes that you might want to carry. So perhaps framed canvas or metal or torn edge prints or whatever. Okay, so just write down the finishes and then the sizes. Do they carry the sizes that you want to carry? And write down your sizes. Okay, so, but remember, I only post, my price list here, and I have quite a bit actually, but my price list here, I have 4 finishes and I have 5 sizes each. That's it. Do I sell more? Of course. Of course I sell odd sizes. If someone wants a custom size for a custom space, you betcha I'm going to design that and price it. But I don't need to put it on my price list. Matter of fact, I could probably just put 3 or 4 sizes here and that could be enough, okay? It doesn't mean you don't sell it. It just means you're keeping things simple so your clients aren't sitting there with deer in the headlights, overwhelmed look. Because remember the golden rule. If a client is overwhelmed, a client's not going to buy. They can't make a decision, and making a risky decision when they're overwhelmed is the kiss of death. It's never going to happen, okay? So in order to get your client to take a risk and buy something more luxurious, bigger, more beautiful, in other words, to spend more money, they have to be comfortable with decisions. They have to be confident that the decision they're making is a good one and that it's going to turn out. So if your price list is too convoluted with too many products on it, they're just going to gloss over and get out of there, and they won't be able to make a decision, okay? So do your brand match checklist, and then on the third sheet, carry over the print partner name over here on the right, and then put down all the products from that lab that interest you. Just vomit them on the paper. This is brainstorming. Tomorrow, we're going to start narrowing that down and honing in on what exactly you're going to carry. Okay. So your workbook exercises is that today. Do that for 3 to 5 labs. The labs that you think you really want to work with, and research their products and start looking at it and going, okay, does this match my brand? What are the pros and cons of this lab? Are there any things that I'm going to have to deal with? Is it worth it? Is it not? That kind of thing. So post your progress and questions inside the Facebook group. All right. And don't forget, we have the free mini fast class in 2 different days next week. Pivot and Profit, moving on and leveling up in 2021. And this is going to be all about the changing marketplace with the pandemic and what you can do with what we're doing here to really up-level your business and shift it for the better next year. So sign up in the Facebook group. Of course, Chelsea has been putting the link into the comments here in the Facebook group. And the minute you sign up for one of our webinars, one of those 2 dates, you're entered to win the drawing. The other very exciting thing, and of course, you guys know I've been pumping you all up for 5 Carat Collective. It opens tomorrow. So exciting. I decided to open it early. I know, right? It is I have to say, on November 1st, so that was Sunday, 5cc officially turned 1 year old. And I can't tell you how proud I am of the students in there who have been there since the beginning. And they are kicking butt in their businesses. They've accomplished so much. I hear time and time again how without 5cc, they would have never accomplished what they have in the last year. And they would have never gotten through COVID without the support and love and camaraderie and partnerships of the people inside. It truly is an online mastermind. 5cc is a monthly membership that just helps you grow. It's a $39 a month charge. We have weekly live meetings, sometimes twice a week. There's core content, market like you mean it, sell like you mean it, and pretty soon systems like you mean it. That is our next course. Is all there and ready for you to digest. And of course, we go over the core content, tons of talking back and forth. Our meetings are on Zoom, and everybody has their camera on, and we all chat and talk. And of course, we also have even social events where every month, once a month, we have wine night. And it has happened during quarantine, and we've kept the tradition going. And we just shoot the breeze. We talk about nothing, and we talk about everything. You never know what's going to happen on wine night. Some huge business accomplishments have been made, and ideas have been hard won on wine night. And then I get to know, of course, everybody and their kids, and we all know our husbands' names, and it's a blast. It's a lot of fun. So it's so much more. We have our Diamond Awards. We have the core content. We have our Ask Julia segment. We have our Mind Your Mindset. There's just so much in there. It's almost overwhelming. But the point is to keep it at a low rate so you guys can be in there a while and really digest the information, and of course make friends and have those business peers who can help you, people who have been there and done that, and can walk you through things when you need that help. I think that's most important. So your assignments for today: download the workbook, do pages 15 to 29. I know that seems like a lot, but it's only because you're only examining like 3 to 5 labs. So don't think this is too much. It's just because there's several pages. And then narrow down your labs. Based on that work above, decide on the labs you'll work with and begin ordering your test prints. Now, if you already have your labs and you kind of know, then I want you to start looking at the possibility of signing up with a boutique lab who can give you more unique products. Because chances are you have a product line that is, that's been working for you for a little while, but perhaps you just want to level it up a little bit, or you want to think of things differently, or maybe make more unique products that you're just leveling up in general, and you need products that your clients can't produce themselves. Then you might want to look at some more boutique labs that will give you those neat papers and those interesting finishes and those, one-of-a-kind products. And I love GRAPHI Studio for that reason. They've helped me a lot in that regard. And everybody thinks they're expensive. I don't know why. I mean, some of their products are, but so is White House and Miller's. So I think it just depends on who you are as a business, what your brand is. Some of you whose brand is not a luxury high-end brand, you don't need to go with a high-end lab. Do you know what I'm saying? But the biggest mistake I see photographers make is that they, and I hear my comments going off like crazy, so I'm going to get to questions here in a second. But I feel like Oh shoot, I just totally had a brain fart. I just had a brain fart. You know when you like were gonna say something, Beth like, what's wrong? I just must have not been that important. Anyway, I was just chipper chattering anyway. So let me get into questions. And yeah, I gotta back up here and see where we're at. There we go. Workbook. Thank you, Chelsea, for posting that. Okay, here I am caught up. Webinar sign up. Thank you. Excellent, excellent, excellent. It's okay if you sign up again for the webinar registration. It won't send you multiple emails. It'll just um, kind of knock you out of the system. It won't knock you out of the system, but it'll see that you're a duplicate and it won't add you again. Okay, Patty says, I do love H&H. They are a beautiful lab. They have lots of fun things. Their canvases from Artsy. Again, Artsy is wonderful. And let's see, I'm just lots of good comments. Do you color calibrate your monitor? Heck yes. I use the X-Rate with a spider thingy. I forget the name of it. It's in my, but yes, I do work on a color calibrated monitor. You have to. I mean, you really do. You have to in order to get your test spreads to look good. I also usually soft proof in Photoshop. So I use the ICC profile of the paper that the lab produces, and that helps too a lot. Okay. All right. Courtney said album Epoca. They are beautiful. They have gorgeous albums. It's a great place for albums. They are out of Italy too with great customer service, and they have very unique albums. Yes, I think we will start a thread in the Facebook group about good like different labs we all use. Because it is a referral based business, and if that's what we expect of our clients. So why don't we do the same thing? So Courtney, I'll kick that post in the Facebook group up right after the live here. I'm going live in our 5cc group for the product challenge as well. We're going to go in more in depth a little bit, but yeah, once that is over, I will post that. Robin, what do you use to keep track of where you order, what you ordered, price, etc.? I use Excel spreadsheet, but I don't love it. Well, my product line, this is really bad, Robin. I should be more organized, but we use 17 hats for client tracking. And then on the client order. So for example, I have this order that came in, what was it, Monday? It was a $4,000 order. And they ordered they ordered 4 acrylic prints. So I won't cover their name, but they ordered 4 acrylic prints from GRAPHI, okay? And then they got their cards and their files. So my Create a Collection is basically you get art and then you get files, okay? And then you get a complimentary set of cards, birth announcements, Christmas cards, whatever you want when you purchase the large files. So, and then they get their proof box. So the order ended up being $44.50, and then they got the proof box and a set of cards for free. So that rounded it out to just under $4,000. And so this is the Pro Select thumbnail invoice. And so what I'll do, Robin, is I'll say, ordered from GRAPHI and write the order number down. So I am a little bit archaic when it comes to this. Analog. I do love analog. And then I write it down, write the date, write the order number so that I can track it should I need to. As far as my other products, I honestly just have a Word document that I have all my products listed, what their costs are, time to produce, cost of goods, and then retail, what I charge for that. So I am a little bit analog. I actually don't use Excel very well. I never really learned how to use Excel, but I think Excel would probably be one of the easiest ways to do this, Robin. Yeah, and I wish that some of the studio management softwares out there, I wish they would have a place for us to track that, like Dubsado or 17 Hats. That would be amazing. Even if you could just do a Google Sheets and have that connected to like your 17 Hats, because then you could just update it in Google Sheets, and whoever needs to have that information, an assistant or whatever, can. Now we do track inventory with an Excel spreadsheet, and that's what Tiffany does. So like I have a frame inventory, that cabinet right there, I'm going to point to it right there. That cabinet is full of frames. And so we keep a running list of what we have and what we don't. And so I can refer to that anytime I want when I'm talking to a client about ordering a specific thing. Okay, so thank you. That was a great question, Robin. Appreciate it very much. Okay. Alinka says, I love the digital version of that workshop. It literally opened my eyes on what to look at. Alinka, what are you talking about? What workshop? Am I totally having another brain fart? Oh, you tell me. The wish of the yes. Okay, the 5cc one at WPPI. We recorded it. I should have said that. Maybe that's exactly what I was going to say. God, I sound like such a. I'm having serious blonde moments. Hi, my name's Julia. My favorite color is clear. I want world peace and a puppy dog. And there should be collagen in all the water supplies because everyone looks better with fuller lips. I know, right? I only do that when I get mansplained. So yes, the 5cc inside 5cc is that digital version of the workshop that we did at WPPI. I'm so focused on my content that sometimes I forget what I say. But anyway, metal prints for underwater clients. That's an incredible thing. Yes, and we do have another couple of photographers inside 5cc who specialize. Nicole does in underwater photography, and yeah, that is a great recommendation. Catherine says, for about 2 years now, I'm at the point where I have 3 go-to labs. N Photo is the one I use for albums, and Catherine's in Germany, just so y'all know. And then another one for just wall art, and then another one I order, very unique product as an upsell product. Other than that, I frame in studio myself, but finding the right frames was a little bit of a pain in the booty. I hear you on that one. That process took about 4 years on my own. Folks can be so glad that you are doing most of the work for them with this exercise. I wished I had this support years ago. Thank you, Catherine. And Catherine is a very reputable photographer in Germany. She is a 5cc member. She's on our meetings all the time. I've grown to absolutely adore her. And she's very good at what she does. And yeah, I mean, it does take some research sometimes. But if you do this work today, you're going to be miles ahead when it comes to 2021 and really taking the leap into being a product-based studio. Christina says, what if there's a boutique that offers a product you love, but their quality is higher, but the shipping is high and the turnaround slow because it's overseas? Do you stay with the lab that's got the best quality product, or do you go with one that isn't quite as high quality, but turnaround is fast and shipping is nothing because it's local to me? Oh, this is the big dilemma. And Christina, this is probably one of the best questions of the day. There's a couple schools of thought on that. It really, it comes down to a lot of things. First and foremost, I think it depends on your brand. I am a pretty high-end brand, and I am about to take the leap to level up even higher next year. So for me, waiting a little extra time for a higher quality product and having to pay shipping is not a big deal. GRAPHI is that example. I mean, they are overseas. They're in Italy. I have to pay for shipping on albums and art, and it's obviously more expensive when the art is bigger, right? And it takes a little extra time than going someplace like Miller's. However, the product is so unique and such high quality that to me, it does not matter. I need that up level of quality to make my business stand out. Now, it was with and am still with Miller's for a lot of the things that I do. So products that are more commodity oriented. So just basic prints if I'm not doing it myself, or a basic gallery wrap canvas rather than GRAPHI's beautiful Canvas Pro. I'll order that from Miller's because it is quick turnaround. It's easy, that kind of thing. But it's a question you have to weigh according to your own brand and where you're at in your business. If you are a middle of the road brand, what I mean by that is, okay, let's sit back. Okay, I'm going to think how I can explain this. Let's sit back and think about branding. Let's look at commodity, middle to high end, luxury brand. Commodity are things you can get anywhere. So in our world, that would be a shoot and burner, someone who's just doing digital, someone who's not really niching or specializing, someone who's, profitable, but just kind of looks like everyone else, okay? In that situation, the products that you're going to order for your brand are, unless you up level the brand, it's going to be really tough to sell those expensive products, okay? Now, if you're middle to high end, which is what I was for years, it's a little harder of a thing to balance because it's like, well, excuse me, I can get products like pretty high-end products fast and cheaper, but some of those products are not as unique, and I have to work harder to make them unique. Does that make sense? So the style of my work, how I'm doing interior design to make them, match a client's home, that kind of thing. That's going to get those products unique to me. However, as a luxury brand where I'm going to your home to help you design for your space, I'm planning the session with you and basically telling you what to wear, pulling clothes out of your closet all before the session. I'm doing an in-depth pre-consultation with you. You're commissioning me for a specific product, and that product is so unique and different than anything they've ever seen, that really high-end luxury, then you betcha I don't mind waiting for something to come overseas with a little higher cost and more expensive shipping. And what I've discovered with my lab overseas is it's really not that much more. It's maybe like 15-20% more at the most. And that difference is made up in the level of service I provide to my clients, the way I've up-leveled the brand, and I've managed to pad it with my files, so hence bringing the cost of goods down. So there's a lot of tricks to doing this to make it extremely profitable, but use the product line to help up-level the brand even more. Now, if you're a lower end brand and you're kind of still developing your style, you haven't quite niched yet, your website is kind of looks like everybody else, your work kind of looks like everybody else, and you have to be honest. I mean, you got to really evaluate and be honest with yourself. If you need to do some work to really move things up, then I would wait to start doing a really high-end product line yet, because it's going to be tough to sell. Okay? So, Christina, I hope this answered your question. I know it's not the most definitive answer in the world, but if you could think of yourself in those 3 buckets and go, okay, which bucket am I most like? And then from there, it'll help you decide, okay, a local lab that's going to produce good products, but cheap and fast, I can make those more unique with how I design them. Or you're at the point where you're like, okay, I've done that for years. Things are unique in my business. Now I need to really, really stand out and be completely different. And then it's like, okay, maybe it's time to do some things that are more expensive, if that makes sense. Hopefully that helped, Christina. Long answer to a short question. Who do I use for your wall art? I use several different things. I use GRAPHI for 1, 2, 3 of my products. And then I use Miller's, Larson Jewel, and Bay Photo for the others. I'm considering dropping the Bay Photo product to move to a different GRAPHI product. So this is me evaluating 2021 and going, okay, what do I want that's different? But most people go with framed matted prints in my studio, which is my standard. It is my standard finish, but I self-fulfill that. So my cost of goods are like 10 to 12%. I kill it on those in terms of profitability. The GRAPHI and the GRAPHI products are around 22% cost of goods. And then my Miller's and framed product, my canvas that I do framed with a float frame, is also at 20 to 22%. So those higher end luxury wall pieces definitely have higher costs. And but I wanted the frames to be just the simple framed and matted prints to be an approachable entry point. And that's where those are. Awesome. Okay. Brooke says she loves the acrylic prestige albums from N Photo. That's awesome. Looking forward to Pivot and Profit. Loma, you all rock. Yay. Awesome. I love this. Okay, I'm just going to... Catherine says, I'm in Germany, so it's a German lab about an hour away from her, but they don't ship to the States. But this is good. We want all these resources, so that's fabulous. All right. Alenka said, I couldn't agree more. It helps to grow as a business, a photographer, as a retoucher, as print competition, and as a human being. Uniquely helpful place. Awesome. Catherine said, yep, basically just what I reiterated. Jessica says, I sent a request on Mighty Networks. Can you check my request to join? Jessica, yes, if you have to join through our link, and that doesn't open till tomorrow. But if you are already a member and you're not in Mighty Networks, then we need to get you in. So email us at info@jewel-images.com, and we'll double check your account and make sure you're all legit. Otherwise, yeah, I just don't remember if you're a actual paying member or not yet, but that link opens tomorrow. I'll open it probably around 9 a.m. is my guess, Pacific time. So, okay, let's see. Elena says, hi, Julia. Thanks for all the content you share. Would you mention the lab's name to your clients on the website, or if a client asks? No, I don't. I just started IPS and chose GRAPHI. They only work with professionals, but still. Yeah, no, I mean, you can if you want, but I don't. I don't show my clients who my print partners are or my labs. Oh, Allison was trying to help me remember the biggest mistake. Yes. The biggest mistake most photographers make is they try to do too many labs, or they don't research labs well enough and just pick what everyone else is going with. It's also in terms of products. The biggest mistake people make is they just carry what everyone else in their market is carrying because they think that's the answer, but it just turns you into something that's not unique. You just end up being like that other lab or that other photographer down the street, and there's no difference between you and that other person. So who's the client going to pick? They're going to pick the least expensive. Is how they're going to go. So that's what it means to differentiate and stand up. Thank you so much, you guys. Yes, you cannot have a luxury band without luxury products. Very, very true. Do I know of any labs that offer framed canvases? I believe Bay Photo does. You want to try them? They do a really nice job. April says, how many labs do you recommend having, or do you suggest using one lab exclusively? Like I said before, if you're beginning and this is overwhelming to you and you're sitting here like a deer in the headlights, just choose one lab, okay? And try to make your products different and stand out by what you put into them in terms of graphic design, in terms of the style of your work, and in terms of the service in your brand you provide your clients. Up level those ways, okay? And then, but if you've been in the game a little bit, and you kind of want some more unique things, it's okay to have another lab or two. Just be careful and keep track of it all so you don't end up overwhelmed. And always choose vendors that are reliable, that have longevity, that have good reputations and incredible customer service. That's all. That's truly, truly the most important things. Okay. Lorraine said, can we have a Canadian lab thread? For sure. If you guys want to post that, go for it. Katrina, would it be cool if we put the area they cover in the lab post as well? Yes. Being in New Zealand, it's hard to find ones that ship here and aren't too expensive. So keen to find places in the Southern Hemisphere. Katrina, I think that's a great idea. And yeah, I'll figure out this afternoon how I want to break that up between different, I might do like continents like Europe, Asia, Australia, North America kind of thing. Because then that way we can, let me think about that. I'll post it later today. All right. Bethany says, will you be updating your IPS downloads when you switch to a GRAPHI? My print and product guide, yes. That once I get all my samples in, you guys saw I got a few samples today. Once I get all my samples in, I'm going to start revamping my pricing guide and updating it for sure. Okay, let's see. I love this. Jennifer says, haha, yes. I do that in my Archer and Olive notebook. Order amount, what they paid, order number, clients, talk about archaic. Hey, girl, we are in, you will fit in just fine in 5cc because this is what we do. We bullet journal. Mine's Italia, disc bound, and everything goes in here. This thing is literally my life. Yeah, it keeps you organized, that's for sure. Robin says she uses a spreadsheet from business class. Let's see, spreadsheet. Gosh, you guys, there's so many amazing comments in here. I'm not gonna be able to get through them all in the time here. I really meant for these things to be like 30 minutes, so it's quick and easy for you, and they're turning out to be an hour. Yeah, no, she says she's not talking about GRAPHI. Yeah, no, I get it, and there's all kinds of labs overseas and stuff. So I think you just have to determine. You know, those wood prints were super popular right now, and they're beautiful, but they're not my brand at all. Like, they are so not me. And so I don't carry them just because they're not me. And I think that's another big determination is looking at a lab and going, okay, does this really suit my brand? I know I love this product. It's beautiful. It's tempting because that's what they're trying to do is tempt us, right? But then you go, it's not really my brand. And simplify. That's a big thing. So Ashley asks a really great question. If your albums aren't selling and your clients are continually telling you they just don't use them, do you find that they just aren't popular in your market? Or do you think maybe I need to revisit my album line to find more unique offerings? I would say both. I would definitely put out a product survey to your current clients and ask them different things about albums and why or why not they don't use them. Would they if they were this? Why don't they use them? What do they not like about albums? And then from there, that'll give you some good factual information from your clients that will allow you to chew on that and then find unique product offerings that fit what they're after and also fit your brand. So both. So it's a great question, but you definitely need to pull albums that aren't selling or figure out ways to make them more unique and different and desirable to the client. So the best way to do that is to ask your clients what they would want in an album. Start throwing out ideas and going, would you like this? How about this? And you can look at other labs to see what they're doing to make albums unique and then start asking questions from there. Great question. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking at more questions. Enphoto does ship to the US. Nice. They have a lab in Poland and the States. Yes, Guild Canvas. Lovely canvases. Kelly says, hi, Julia. I'm so excited. My 5cc account is working with Mighty Networks now. Great. Yay, Kelly. Did Beth help you out? I don't know, but we've been having issues going back and forth. I'm so glad it works, Kelly. You've been my one that I've been worried about. And with launching everything, we've been like overwhelmed ourselves. So good. I'm glad you're squared away. But yes, 5cc is two separate areas. So we have our core content area online, and then we have our community, which is our network through Mighty Networks. And that's where everybody talks, and that's where we do our lives. Yes. Okay. Let me see here. Getting down questions. You guys are talking to each other. I love it. Awesome. Okay. I think that's about all the questions. So of course your next is, I got to give away this gift card, don't I? Let me log into those things here. Hang on. Let's go back to my system here. I'm going to generate a random number. Hey, Beth, are you available? Would you generate, hang on, let me get I got to filter by tags and see how many people are in the webinars. I got to give you a from number, webinar registration. There we go. I need a random number between 1 and 130. So I'm going to give you the number? Yes, the problem is I have to count. So yeah, do you have, or let me just do it. I know where to go. Okay, so random number generator. Thank you for making me do that. Generate. Number 33 today. Okay, now I got to count. 33. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, we know there's 25 per page. That's good to know. Next page, 26, 28, 29, 30, 31. 32, 33 is, we need a drum roll. Candace Snowden! You have won a $100 gift card to GRAPHI. Let's see, is Candace here? She has to be here. So if she's not here, she won't win it. Candace, are you here? Candace Snowden, are you in the house? I'm waiting. It's got a 10-second delay, so I'm going to let it go through. Candace, are you here? Candace is actually a 5cc member too. So Candace, she might not be here today. If she's not, we're going to do another one. I'm going to random. I know, right? Hey, it just means you guys get more chances, right? Okay. Generate random number. Number 3. Ooh, number 3. It is, hang on, that's on the wrong page, previous. Catherine says she hasn't seen her today. 1, 2, 3. Robin. rtlisone@yahoo.com. Robin, is she here? rtlisone@yahoo.com. I know, it's just like yesterday. It's kind of fun, though, the suspense, isn't it? I like doing random numbers over and over again. Robin, is Robin here? rtlisone@yahoo.com. Are you here? If you're not, I'm going to do another random number. Oh, Robin Belonger. Wrong, Robin. I know that sucks, doesn't it? Okay. You do not have to enter every day, Monica. We have once you're on, and you're legit. That's probably why we have people who haven't signed up yet. Okay, number 117, because I don't think Robin is here either. Wrote Viviana. I thought it was Rodin. Yes, you just have to register for the webinar and then be present, and you will win a prize. Let's see here. I am on 117. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, I know she's here today. Guess what? Number 117. Who is it? It is Catherine Newman! I know you're here today! Catherine Newman, you just won yourself a $100 gift card to GRAPHI Studio. Congratulations, my dear. Catherine Newman at gmail.com. You win, girlfriend. So fun. Congratulations. Okay, you guys. That is it for today. Yes, she says, thank you so much. You are welcome, Catherine. One more round of applause for winning. It's like my sound effects. It's fun, isn't it? For winning the GRAPHI Studio gift card. We will have another one tomorrow and another on Thursday and that Go book on Friday. So thank you for joining me every day. Download your workbook. Get the stuff done, you guys. Tomorrow, we're going to talk all about picking products and building. What are we doing tomorrow? Oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm doing. Picking your product line on day 3 of the challenge, and like selecting your products and narrowing down what you actually want to carry in your studio. And then we are going to refine that even more come Thursday when we build a hierarchy in your business so that you have inexpensive products that are no value all the way up to luxury products to try to get your client to want to spend more and buy more. Make sense? Okay, you guys, thanks so much again. Bless you all. It's so wonderful to have you all here. Thank you so much for your time and your engagement and your enthusiasm. And congratulations, Catherine. You are our winner. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Sound good? Mwah. Take care. Bye.